Hi, NARC troopers. Tonight I want to talk to you about how to how we tend to hang on in some way or another without fully 100% disconnecting from our narcissist. So my my narcissist, his he's not mine anymore. He's up leveled to a whole person with more money and who's younger, and just traded me in for a newer, better model. But in spite of all that, today's his birthday, and I went over to a friend's house this evening. There was a lady I met in recovery from narcissistic abuse meeting 2 years ago when this first happened, and another lady also from that same group. So we've managed to stick together through this 2-year-long journey since our husbands discarded us. And we're all about the same age. And so I told them today is his birthday, and I called him on Thursday. We talked for over 30 minutes. And then one of them said, I did the same thing on my husband's birthday. I called him, and we didn't talk 30 minutes, but we talked about 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, how was that? How'd that make you feel? And she said, well, it did make me feel good because, it sort of highlighted how they're no longer part of my life. And, he's like, no, I mean, it was nice when I was talking to him, but as far as like that being a good thing, I was kind of regretted doing it. And, I felt the same way. I told her, I said, it felt really good. It's kind of like getting a hit of a drug when you do that, right? Because it's like, 2 years have passed, but you still feel connected. You still feel like, they run through your blood. And so, we've talked about the likelihood of reuniting with these people. Like, is that even a possibility? Could that ever happen? And I don't think so. I guess anything is possible. But I think there's a lot of people around us who would burst into flames and never speak to us again if we returned to the thing that almost destroyed us. They would have us locked up, right? Like, oh my gosh, you're crazy lady. So even if we wanted to, we can't do that because we have children, we have family that are watching, and we're setting examples and teaching by example, and all that fun stuff. But what I wanted to say is, if you have been tempted to reach out to your person with narcissistic personality disorder following a discard or an escape, you're no longer partnered with them, you're divorced or broken up or whatever, how hard is it to just leave them alone and move on and just be done? And why is it that we feel still connected to these people where we just can't do that? We can't, or at least so far, we can't do that. And so one of my friends tonight said, I know a lady that 11 years ago, she and her husband own one of the most awesome seafood restaurants in Austin, and we've been friends for probably 30 years. She said her husband left her 11 years ago. And she said that her friend told her recently that he just called her, and they have grown children. Here again, more people my age. It seems like a lot of people my age get dumped for younger women. Is that a trend? I don't know. But that's what happened with this guy that owns this seafood restaurant. He divorced his wife. He hasn't remarried, but he's had several really young girlfriends. He's like 61, I think. He's 61, and his girlfriends are in their 30s. and nobody thinks twice about that, you know. If it's a guy with a younger girl, if it's a woman with a younger man, then, oh, she's a this and she's a that. But lots of judgment there, you know. I hate that. Double standard. Anyway, she said when her ex-husband called her, this has been, she said, less than a year ago, and checked in, they were talking about that, and she said, it was like, it was all so fresh all over again. She started crying and saying, what happened to us? And, oh my gosh, my heart still weeps for you, and I have never been able to move on and replace you, and, you know, I'm never going to be able to, because it's been 11 years, and I'm like 60 now. And when we divorced, I was like 49, 48. Might have had a chance of doing something, but I was too absolutely shattered by what happened, and that she just lost it all over again, right back to square one, 11 years later. And I asked my friend, what does that mean? What does that mean? What are you saying? Because I had initially said, do you think 5 years from now, if we're past this, that we're going to have anything in common? Because we have so much in common right now. So much in common. We're on the same page. We have the same feelings. We have the same, everything is just so like identical. And it is that way with people who are disordered, who have a mental illness, like a narcissistic personality disorder. They all have the same script they're reading from. They say the same things. They do things in the same way. Very predictable. And I said, well, you know, if in 5 years, do you think we'll have anything in common, like still to be friends after, you know, are we just friends through crisis? I've already lost one of my friends that way, that we were there for each other, just like so close. Oh my gosh, I was trying to tell her we needed to grow old together, like Grace and Frankie and Grace, that show with the two ladies who live on the beach in California. I said, let's do that. Let's go there. And you can live with me, and, you know, yes, let's do it. And we were that close. And we got to the point where now we're not. And I don't know what happened, and so I was asking this other friend, am I going to lose you too? Are we going to recover at some point and say, hey, okay, the trauma, the crisis, the PTSD, the whole grief and all of that, like meltdown and all of that has passed. Now we're okay. We're okay with our lives, so are we still going to be besties? And she said, that friend that 11 years later feels that way and broke down in tears, she said, I had dinner with her last night, and she was talking about that happening about, you know, maybe 9 or 10 months ago, and that it shocked her that after 11 years that she felt that strongly and had that much sadness and grief in her, to hear his voice and just suddenly be destroyed by his voice, suddenly just right back to square one. And I said, so you're saying that you think 11 years from now, probably neither one of us are going to be alive because we're old, and we're probably going to be dead in 11 years, especially with COVID. But assuming that we're still alive, you think that we're still going to be like this? Sad, lonely, trying to recover, trying to stop thinking about them, still in shock that they did what they did to us, still in shock that they are impaired, that they are mentally ill, that they are people with narcissistic personality disorder. And let's not use that term freely. She and I both have been in therapy for a long time, and her therapist diagnosed her husband as having that. And my therapist diagnosed my husband as being a narcissist, as well as a couple of other mental health professionals. So it's not like we're just saying, oh yeah, our husbands, they were both narcissists. No, they really were. And not in the, oh, everybody's a narcissist kind of way. I'm narcissistic. I definitely have narcissistic traits. I want to be pretty and youthful, and I want to be sexy, and yeah, I want everybody to say ooh and ah when they see me, and say, oh, you look really great for a woman your age, and oh, or maybe leave the last part off about the woman my age part. Yeah, I want that. Yes, I'm narcissistic, but I'm not a person with narcissistic personality disorder. And both of us were married for many, many years to people who were that. So I have a couple of things to say about that, and then we'll wrap this up this evening. I've got papers to grade. They're not papers, they're digital assignments turned in by my students, and I promised I'd get them graded before tomorrow, so it's calling me. First thing I want to say is we don't want to be that lady that 11 years later just lost her shit because her disordered person called her and she heard his voice. And that was the first time she had heard from him in years, several years, 4 or 5 years. Nothing. Like he disappeared off the face of the earth. We don't want to be her, right? We don't want to still be damaged by this and affected by this and have it still running through our blood and veins. I don't even want to be like this a year from now. I've been doing it 2 years and it's damn near killed me. These last 2 years have sucked more than any time in my entire life times 100. I didn't think I was going to make it. So to think about doing that for, 9 more years? No, I'd rather get COVID and just check out right now. Seriously, I don't think I could do that. And I don't think you want to do that. None of us want to do that. We don't choose that. And so we have to make up our minds right now. That is not our fate. That is not how it's going to go down. We are going to be free of this trauma bond, free of this addiction, free of this unhealthy, pathological attachment to people who are mentally ill and incapable of being like a regular human who can love and have intimacy and have commitments and take care of you and you take care of them and y'all be partners and stuff. That's never going to happen with these people. We have to accept it and leave it behind us and move far forward and beyond that. We cannot carry this with us year after year to come. We just can't. We just can't. Are you hearing me? That's not a choice. At some point, you're going to have to do something and not allow yourself to be owned by this thing that has happened. And we have to fix, the key to this is we have to fix what is not okay inside of us so that we can be free of it, so we can see them for what they are and see that relationship for what it was, and to know that this person is never going to be okay. They're never going to be okay. Never, ever, ever. Even if it looks like mine, he's hit a gold mine. She has more money. She's younger. I should be just eaten up with jealousy. I'm not, because I know what is inside the core of him. And I know how it will end. And I know what he's capable of giving her. And it's the same as what he was capable of giving me. It's not personal. We're interchangeable parts providing a service, keeping him afloat, boistering him up with all of our affection and adoration and attention and all of that stuff. Enough already. We did all that. It's time to look at it at what it is, name it, stamp it, push it aside and say, no more. We're no more of this magical thinking, fantasy, oh, maybe he'll get healed, or I'll pray for him and God's going to heal him and send him back. No, that's not what happens. That's not how this ends. How do I know that, you're thinking? I know it. And you need to believe me. I'm trying to help you by warning you. This is your key to having your life back, is that you have to acknowledge this. You have to accept what these people are who are not okay and let them go. Get them, let them go by healing yourself, then let them go. Just let them go. Put them down, walk away. Don't look back. Second thing I want to tell you is that in the meantime, like right now, don't try to date too soon. That's going to be disastrous. I can tell you some horror stories about that. Oh, it's not him. They can't be him. They could be greater and better in every single way. You know, they could be better looking. They could have more money, more successful. They could have a larger, you know what? Yeah, they could. They could have all that. They can have the whole package, everything you ever dreamed of to rock your world and keep you happy and loved and secure for the rest of your freaking life. And you know what? You're not ready, probably. If you're in the first year or two post-discard, you aren't ready. Trust me, you aren't. So just don't even try. Go out with your girlfriends. Go learn to be by yourself. Do something, but don't try to date too soon. Don't try to hop in the sack too soon. It is self-sabotage. It is not going to work out. It's going to just make it take longer to recover. It's like a temporary fix. It's like temporary anesthetizing yourself from the pain. Makes things feel better for just a little bit, and then they're worse than they were before. So don't do that. My solution, find a higher power, find a support group, find friends that have been through the same thing. You speak the same language, like my two friends. We speak the same language. They've been through the same thing. They get it. They know how you feel. They know about the phone calls. They know about the breaking no contact. They know about the addiction. They understand. You need to find those people somehow. Go to Meetup and look up, narcissistic support groups. There's other places online you can go to find those people. Get a sponsor. This is like alcoholism or drug addiction. You need a sponsor. So when you're tempted, you can call your freaking sponsor and say, hey, I need a fix from my narcissist. Help me. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Okay, I don't want to make fun of this, but I'm serious. This is really good advice. I know what I'm talking about. Not just from personal experience, but from knowing tons of other people going through it, from talking to people daily about it that email me and message me that are my clients, because I'm a life coach and I have some clients that I'm coaching. I hear what they have to say. I've done the research. I have read extensively. I have gone to workshops. I've taken trainings. I've done so much work on this. I guarantee you what I'm telling you is the truth. Promise you. I promise you. Please believe me. You got to let them go. You got to walk away. And when you screw up and you call them or you text them or whatever it is you're doing, stalk them on social media, park in front of their house, whatever, forgive yourself. Because this is serious stuff. It's you've got chemicals in your brain that are jacked up. Your whole neurobiology is not what it once was. You have brain damage. You do. You literally have brain damage. You're emotionally dysregulated. You're having physical symptoms manifesting from all of the stress and PTSD symptoms. You're a mess. So forgive yourself when you reach out to them, because you're only human. They're not. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't think that they're demons that need to be punished or anything like that. They're sick. They're damaged. They are empty, hollow, walking dead. Just accept that. Accept it. I think I had something else to tell you, but I got to go grade those papers, so I'm going to stop here. That's enough of my preachy preach. So tune in for more words of wisdom, helpful hints on recovery, and maybe just a few slap in the face, cha-chunk, snap out of it wake up calls, right? Aren't those I don't know, maybe they're not effective, but I'm going to try. I'm trying to work with you here. Yeah. All right. So I'm working on my website to update it, but you can go there anyway and see it under construction. It's NARC Troopers, NARC Troopers. NARC is for Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Collaborators, and I do collaborate with different people. Got a live streamed event happening this coming Tuesday at 6:00 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch that, if you're watching this video after the fact, sorry you missed it. Be looking for more, because there's always stuff, always resources to do. If not mine, other people have them too. I depend on those other people with their podcast and their stuff. I listen to tons of Sam Vaknin. You should look him up. He's a little sweetheart. A lot of people hate him, but I think he's great. I've always been a sucker for smart people. And he is smart. Maybe not quite okay, but smart. Anyway, gotta go. Much love to all of you. Hang in there. Be kind to yourself and keep going. Keep going, and let's just have a reality check once in a while through the day. Reality check. There's no happy ending with these people. Reality check, you got to let them go. Reality check, stop reaching out to them. Reality check, you can be okay without them. You can. Reality check, quit trying to substitute somebody else in. People are not interchangeable parts. You can't just sub somebody in for another one. Narcissists can do that. That's what they did to you. But you can't do that. It's not what humans do. They're not interchangeable parts. So stop thinking that you can fix things by doing that, by going out and dating and finding somebody, no, not yet. Maybe sometime, but not now, not yet, until you're healed. And if you're watching this, I assume that you are in recovery and you're not healed. Closer every day. Okay, I gotta go. All right, much love. Bye.